Now, when I joined Brabham, you guys had run off with all the money by 89 and left poor old Herbie to pick up the pieces. You'd gone to the FIA, Charlie, by then.
Yes, at the end of 87. Bernie suggested it. So.
Bernie suggested you went to the FIA?
Yeah. We didn't race in 88, and then it was reborn in 89, wasn't it?
Yeah. When Nick retired, Charlie came to be my mechanic. We was together for 7 years. We won 2 championships together. Huh?
Yeah. That was after Nicky went. I was on Nelson's car for 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah, good days.
Was he good? Did he complain about the car much? Or?
Very little, very little. My only complaint was he played too many jokes on us. There was once sitting on the grid somewhere, and he said, "Fuel leak. I think it's a fuel leak." I don't know. I went under the car. Oh God! Look, you could see this puddle. He couldn't be bothered to go to the toilet, and he did it in the car.
But when Nelson first turned up in Canada, he arrived there, he'd been boss suit, and he was all
No, it's not like this. They asked me to go to Canada, no? And geez, I have no money at all. I have 300 pounds with the money for the end of the year. And I said, I have no clothes. What I do? Geez, I went to Harrods. I bought a trousers, a shirt, and a shoes. And I was supposed to meet Gordon in Heathrow Airport. And I arrived there, I saw Gordon, Jesus, with the plastic sandal, with the trousers until here, designed a t-shirt, full of holes. I said, I spent my bloody money. And I arrived in the circuit. This guy here have a big hole in the trouser here in the back. And this hole was for 1 year, he had the same trouser. I said, well, bloody spend my money.
Let's talk about Gordon Murray, because he was pivotal in all of this, wasn't he, designing the car? He was one of the few guys you sort of kept on when you bought Brabham team.
Yeah, because I was told by Miss Taranek at the time, all the people that we should get rid of, and Gordon was one of them. And I said, well, we'll keep him for a start then. Get rid of the others. And that's what we did.
Your cars always looked beautiful, didn't they? You didn't ever have cigarette advertising on them, did you?
No.
Always really crisp white and blue cars.
Well, we never had cigarette on the car because I couldn't find the sponsor, that's all.
Is that right?
How I found this one was...
This one being Herbie?
Herbie, because Herbie was with Jochen Rindt, who was a buddy of mine. And after the accident, Herbie sorted everything out for Colin, because we made sure Colin Chapman left the country immediately because they wanted to arrest everybody. They impounded the cars, didn't they? So Herbie stayed back. It wasn't working for me at the time. It was nothing to do with me. Stayed back to sort that out. And the cars were locked up and whatever. So that's when he started. That's how we got together.
Drivers lost. Carlos Pache died in a plane crash. He was a Brabham driver for you at the time, wasn't he? Which was a sad time. I was testing that day in Ricard when we lost Elio.
Yeah.
It was with the low car, wasn't it? Was it the 55? Yeah. 55. That was a really sad day out, wasn't it? I mean, they're tough days for a team for people to get through, aren't they? If you're the guys that have, done somebody's seatbelts up and put their wheels on, they go out and they don't come back. How is that?
In those days, you waited. You waited for the car to come. It should be coming around now. You had no idea. You didn't have any radios, and then, of course, at that test, there were very few marshals, no communication. So you'd wait minutes, wouldn't you, to then say, "Well, he must have stopped. Let's go and have a look." And it was very hard in those days.
I went to Stefan Beloff's funeral. My teammate at Tyrrell, I saw him die in a sports car race at Spa, and I saw the destruction of his family and his friends and his girlfriend, and it really affected me, so I never went to a driver's funeral again after that while I was still racing. How do you it's really hard to get back in the car, isn't it, when you see something like that?
Carlos Reutemann was driving Vina, and he didn't want to go out, for qualifying something. I said, this is your job. This is what you do. You race. And
Let's talk about nice thing. The best time in Formula One for me was qualifying the BMW engine with quali tires.
Yes.
You have these 2 tires for the car, and you go up to 300 horsepower more for qualifying. And you have to gas everything, because you arrive 30 kilometers quick in the straight, and you do the corner maybe 20 kilometers quick in the corners, and you have to give a gas. And you're sitting there and you eat the spaghetti and all the things, then you sit the car for one lap, you know. And why should I was supposed to do it? I go to the lap screaming myself to try to get very hard. And coming 200 meters before the check and go for. And that was the most exciting thing for me. It was a qualifying tire with that so much power, but it was very good. And they do one lap, another lap, and after you get 4 tires, maybe, and try again, but only for trying. Or maybe make traffic in the circuit for people who doesn't make it.
So you'd get out on a Saturday morning, wouldn't you, with your car, and then next time you got in, you had 400 horsepower more.
Yeah. And the softer tires.
And the soft tire.
So you creep really around. Softer tires.
And places like Monaco was like being in a spaceship, wasn't it? It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Getting back to when Nicky joined us, his first test was here in Interlagos, and off he went. First lap out, no Nicky. Where is he? Well, he's obviously stopped on the circuit. Jump in a car, drive round to tow him back. No, he's obviously made it back. Get back to the pits, no Nicky. What's happened to him? This is the world champion. He's just joined us, number 1. What the hell's happened? So Charlie and myself, off we go again. So he's only gone off because of a brake failure, and he's trapped underneath this catch fencing. Trapped.
Don't forget.
Oh, yeah. How long for?
And that was welcome to Brabham.
They missed me once, these idiots. I had to wait for 2 laps, everything over me. Everything was dripping, it's hot. I broke my arm as well, or my ankle here. Yeah. And then they picked me up, got the thing out.
You couldn't find him?
Then I got out of the car.
How things change.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. You know, that's what it was like then. You didn't know. And
It's true.
what
First
you
test.
watching.
Yedini
We'd
was
better
here
go and have a
too.
look.
Yeah, I
I had to
remember.
fly home.
You know, when you think today with this, with Max, and all the criticism about him, when you look at these 2 hooligans, you know, and you know, these guys today, I mean, he dealt with his situation very easy. I think Hockenheim, wasn't it, when he got out the car?
Yeah.
Had an argument.
Yeah. Easier.
Very good.
And he dealt with it in a very sensible way. Get out the car, go to the guy, and give him a whack.
Salazar, what was his name?
Yes.
I never forget this picture.
Half of the story was filmed. Another half was not filmed. It was afterwards. That was really nice.
Did you have what happened afterwards? You remember?
Well, afterwards I was walking in the forest back, and a combi came behind and said, beep, beep. And I look, it was a combi full of people. I said, you want to lift? Yes. I opened the door, Salazar was inside. I got him out.
I never knew that.
And got in the car, I said, let's go. The guy said, no. And the guy opened the door and went to get Salazar. And I closed the door, put the keys on and left. But they didn't look back. It was so full, the combi full of people. And then the 2 guys there, Salazar and the driver there.
What did the steward say?
Oh, that's it, start to laugh.
Another thing I remember, sitting in my Tyrrell on the grid in Austria, 86, and you appear to be pulling your drivers out of your cars and moving them around on the grid. Poor old Derek got thrown out, and you pulled his car forward, and Ricardo got in it.
Yeah. Because we'd lost 1 car in practice. The car got burnt and we couldn't have a T-car. And then Ricardo had a gearbox failure. And I was on the grid trying to, with the side off the gearbox, trying to, my hand in red hot oil and trying to get these gears back in, but it was just impossible. So then Bernie said, you out the car, and pushed the car up there. It wasn't very popular, were you?
No. But it worked.
But Derek,
But it worked.
yeah.
Derek says you told him you'd make it up to him, but he can't remember when that happened.
No, but I will.
This is 86, so it's 30 years, isn't it? Good days. So what can we learn from then that we can apply now? Is there anything?
Sure. Get rid of all the rules. Overtaking rules. Go back to these days. Hit the guy if you're not happy. Honestly, we have to do something.
Absolutely.
We are over-regulated.
A little more randomness and a little more spontaneity would be nice. Yeah.
No rules, I tell you. Let them race. Like in the old days.
We need to just change the sporting regulations. The beginning of the sporting regulations today says do not race. So we need to change.
We'll just cross that bit out.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Charlie would be like, oh, is that the time already? I need to be I think we do need to move on. Gentlemen, that was fascinating. Thank you. I'd like to do it again because I think there's plenty more stories to tell yet. But it was really good to see you and good to see the spirit and the...
Well, it's great that we're all sat
The
down here still,
camaraderie.
and we can still laugh about it and still remember it, which is good.
And I tell you one thing, I come here, see Formula One, only to see these people here.
Yeah.
That's really, if I stay in the home, stay home and watch TV. I only come to see Nick, see Bernie, and so many years together with them, it was fantastic. That's the only reason, it's a good friendship.
You achieved a lot together.
Yeah.
We did.
Enjoy